Welcome back, researchers, to the Arcanic Archives. I am, of course, the Archivist, and it's been a little while, hasn't it? That wasn't intentional. It was just the end of a semester of grad school for me, and then we were traveling for the holidays, visiting family, and I didn't realize until about halfway through that I didn't have any videos in reserve to post. But now that we're back home, able to record, get some games in, and do some more Blitz testing, here we are. So this is the current list I've been working with old school contract Arakni. Now, I think I mentioned this in one of the games in the video, but if I was asked what my favorite overall mechanic, keyword, etc. in Flesh and Blood is, it's contract. I just think it's so much fun as far as the little mini games in this game go. You know, Vincent has the whole rune gate thing, stacking them up, using rune chants as a resource, and then using those to fire off big attacks. But I love the feeling of completing contracts, creating silvers, buying back the equipment, screwing up the opponent's deck. This was the first deck I really got into. I played Icelander for a little while, just starting out, but when Arakni came out in Dynasty, I decided to jump into the Assassin class, and even though I consider Kano my main deck, either version of Arakni is a close second as far as my favorites. So anyways, I'm calling this deck Fatigue-ish because there's definitely decks that fatigue better than us, and we oftentimes lose to those decks, but we can do a pretty good job. As far as defensive cards, we have Fate Foreseen, Sink Below, Oasis all in the main deck, and we have some unmovables in the side. Now, besides those, we have all 3 blocks except Codex of Frailty. Just checking myself to make sure that's correct, and I believe it is. So many of the assassin cards just straight up block for 3, which don't underestimate that. As far as being able to save on life, prevent on hits with blocking with 2 maybe 3 cards. We're happy to block with 2 cards a lot of the time because we can have pretty impactful hands with just like a blue and a contract. We can swing with a dagger, play a contract, or play a contract and have a reaction backup, whatever. So our general game plan is to basically do that. We're quite often leading off with a dagger attack because regardless of which ones we're using, they all have pay 2, attack, go again. So we're happy to pitch a blue or yellow into a dagger and then follow that up with essentially any contract attack. We have a lot of 0 for 4s, Leave No Witnesses being the best among them, of course. We also have some more expensive but ostensibly more impactful contracts like Eradicate, Surgical Extraction, and the newest edition, Already Dead, which is really key as a 6 power 3 block for Arakni. Also cost 2 if you're on the pummel thing, which we're not doing here. But yeah, on the turns where we have more cards, we're happy to cut to the chase, literally any contract. We also have Rainbow Shreds. I don't know if I have the red ones in all of the games in the video, but I think playing Rainbow Shreds is okay as a hedge against decks that can block. Red Shred is often overkill since it can do -4, but against really defensive decks that we have a hard time punching through with anything, Red Shred is a little bit of a hedge against that. But Yellow and Blue Shred is essentially a staple to end all staples, along with Codex of Frailty, of course. I put Yellow and Blue Shred in literally every Assassin deck, and I think we'd have to see a lot more Assassin cards for that not to be the correct call. They block 3, they help us get through on hits, we can pitch to attack with daggers. Shred is just a phenomenal card, and also terrifying to look at. We also have Regicide in the main deck. Who knows if we'll ever get to play it, but again, pitches for 3, blocks for 3, it's just good. Sideboard, we have AB2, we have Scale Peeler as our 3rd dagger. The Arcane Barrier will only bring this in against Runeblades, and then we'll do AB2 against the Emperor if we see him. We have 2 Spreading Plagues, just in case we want more yellows, and against decks who like to block with multiple cards, this can be really good. I have 1 Unmovable right now as a big defensive card for Brutes, Guardians, etc., which is sometimes key to surviving, honestly, since this can block 8 off of 2 cards, since it costs 3, but it is an increase in block value rather than just blocking 6. Equipment is pretty standard. We do Mask of Perdition and Black Tech Whisperers as our recurable assassin equipment. Flick Knives is just so much fun. I talk about it a lot in previous videos, so I won't talk about it here. And then Tunic is good. That's the bit. Tunic is good. Spider's Bite and Nerve Scalpel are probably our default setup, although with equipment block being so significant in Blitz, don't underestimate the scale peeler, turning off people's equipment or making their 2-block equipment look silly. Yeah. So that's pretty much the deck. We'll hop into some games and see how fatigue-ish Arakni is doing in this new era of Blitz following all of the LLs this skirmish season. Alright, so here we are in Blitz with our Contract Arakni deck up against Solitary Arakni, so this will be very interesting. I actually don't think I've encountered this matchup before. So we'll see who the superior assassin is. I don't think we want any of this. We could, like, drop Regicide for Spreading Plague. Maybe even Unmovable, because if they pump a big attack. No, we'll drop our Regicide for Spreading Plague and just run it like that. Alright, so this is very interesting. They've put us first. So they're running, looks like the standard setup, I'd say. So we actually have a pretty solid opening hand for punching through some damage. So we can Spider's Bite, followed up with Eradicate with reaction backup. Now, Red Shred is overkill in most situations, but the decks I'm most afraid of right now are like Great Axe, Fatigue, Dorinthia, and that sort of thing. So that gives us a little bit of an edge there, while being a fine card generally, although it is just okay. Excuse me. So don't really care that they blocked that. So now we can Eradicate. We'll sink the Razor's Edge. Don't want them to have that. And it also doesn't fulfill our contract. Generally speaking, I think contract is my favorite mechanic in the game. It's just so much fun. Banishing cards, that sort of thing. So we can cut to the chase. Yeah, we'll cut to the chase. Sink Minnowism. We'll say yes. We can also shred something, but I probably would prefer to just keep that in Arsenal. Although we are trading off a big banish. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we banish a Nimbleism. So they're playing a lot of pumps from what we've seen. But, of course, that's what you want to do with Arakni Solitary. So with this hand, we're probably fine blocking with these two. We'll see if we can sit on the CNC. Oh, so I just slam a Codex of Frailty. Interesting. That doesn't hurt us so bad, although it does put us off daggers on our turn. I wonder what their hand is like for them to just slam that right now. Okay, then they pitch Plague Hive and we get a Blood Rot. So that's not great. We are not... We do have a lot of attacks. But we're just going to take the Spider's Bite. It's kind of funny. We, we're vulnerable to our own tricks. We can't efficiently block Spider's Bite. So then do Infect for 2 and go again. So we have no idea what their last card is. We're not attacking with daggers. So we're going to block here. We don't know what their last card is, right? Because we bottomed everything we saw. So if it's like if it's some kind of reaction, they can have the on-hit, I guess. Okay, they don't. Maybe it's just another stealth. Ooh, no sleep, no witnesses. Which they can't pump. So they're not going to have an arsenal. So let's just do this. This does make our next turn a little less effective, and it's possible we should have kept the blue to pay for the Blood Rot. That's slight misplay on my part. Alright, so we'll just throw out this Plunder the Poor. Ravenous Rabble fulfills our contract. We will not sink. So we're happy to crack the Mask and shred something they block with here, if they block at all. It's a little awkward if they don't, because we can't really do anything with this. Okay, they don't. We're going to break the Mask. See if they de-react, or just take the hit. Alright, so they're pretty happy to... Ooh, so we get 2 silvers, that's fine. So the Frailty pops, we can't pay for the Blood Rot. Again, I think that's a misplay, but whatever. Alright, so we do have 2 silvers, which is nice, but they have a 5-card hand. Which our exploits with Solitary Arakni have shown that could be pretty good. Alright, so they do Scar for a Scar with Go again. We'd rather block something with an on-hit, so we'll just take the damage. I do Sedate. How much do we care about Inertia? Well, let's block... Yeah, we have a Shred, so we'll block with this Shred. See if they pump or not. They... Ooh, okay, so they have Red Shred. So, can't do anything about that. And they do Infect. Right. We're going to block like this because we have our Tunic resource to use on this Annihilate. We're going to lose a point of value with Black Tech here. So they're going to flick. Probably means they have Concealed Blade. Or they just want to aggressively flick daggers, which... Okay, so we're just aggressively flicking daggers. That's fine. Okay, so they don't want to flick. That's fine. We will happily re-equip the Mask. So let's... Yeah, let's lead off with Annihilate. Codex of Blood Rot. We will sink that. Alright, so they don't block at all. Let's crack Black Tech. Don't crack Mask. Alright, so we banish Isolate. That's pretty good. And we'll throw out the Slay the Scholars. We will sink the Backstab. Again, don't want them to have that. I'd love for them to block so we can get some value out of the Shred, but that might not be in the cards, as it were. Okay, it is not. Wondering if we flick our Spider's Bite here. Let's... Yeah, I'm just thinking, if they have another 5-card hand, we might want to block with the Flick Knives. Let's... I'm a little torn. We're going to say no for now. Okay, so we go up to 2 silvers again, that's fine. So I have another Scar for a Scar. Yikes. What are we doing with this hand? Probably just Eradicate with Cut to the Chase back up. So we're going to take the Scar for a Scar again. Try to block something with an on-hit. So they do Sedate again. We need to block because if they have, you know, a 3 pump here, we just die. So we're going to block with our Give and Take. If they have a double pump, they still get us, but I don't want to double block this when they could have 1, possibly 2 more attacks waiting for us. We'll see if we get punished or not. Okay, we don't. That's great. All right, so they Codex of Frailty. So suggestive of the fact that they have like a razor reflex. So that might hurt. I would love to get a leave no witnesses. We might just get plunder the poor to go with our cut to the chase. Because we're gonna, yeah, so we'll take the plunder the poor. We will discard spreading plague. So they leave no witnesses. That means we will block like this. Unfortunately, it means if they have, it's like we could block with a cut to the chase so they can't razor reflex us. This plunder the poor is going to be pretty sad, but yeah, we will overblock. That means we can actually do something on our turn, even if it's playing a plunder the poor for 3. Pardon the interruption, we have overactive smart home devices. Alright, so they don't razor reflex us. We will happily re-equip our black tech. Just play this out for 3. We will sink the backstab. It does fulfill our contract, but I don't want them to have that, and we've not seen any of our 4 defense reactions yet. So they're just going to equipment block here. That's pretty smart. Now we will flick the spider's bite just to deal the damage in case we have to block. Okay. So do nimblism. Wither for 6. We can block 2 and de-react. Like, we can keep Concealed Blade and Annihilate for our turn. I'd love to not lose this Leave No Witnesses. Let's... Let's do this and then Fate Foreseen. Don't think we're going to be around long enough to get another resource out of our tunic. Problem with this play is that they can flick this scalpel. So, that was a possible miscalculation on my part. Fumbling around a little bit in this matchup. Ooh, so Spike with Blood Rat. We'll throw out our Fate Foreseen. See if they flick in response. Were it me in this situation, I would. Oh, they have a... Oh, jeez. I believe this means we're dead. Yep. Nice. The double spike with Blood Rat is very good. Yeah, I think... I don't know. I think they are probably favored to win this, as far as the Battle of the Arachnes. But that was actually very fun. And again, not one I had encountered before. All right. So of course they get the choice because when doesn't Rhinar? We'll bring in Unmovable. Red Shred is overkill. We'll also bring in Spreading Plague. Spreading. Ooh, Royal Rhinar. Again, we get the I would love to go first with this hand. Damn. Let's see if we just die. They pass. Well, that's strange. Okay. I won't question it though, because that means we can surgical with cut to the chase backup. I'd love if this were a yellow, so we could dagger first, but no, we'll just throw out our surgical. Barraging Bighorn. Yeah, we'll sink that, go fishing for a blue. I was feeling good about this deck yesterday, and today not so much. I'm just seeing different matchups. I don't think we lose the Arakni solitary game every time. We probably lose the Prism game most times, though. This matchup could go either way. Which is, I don't know, sort of a, not problem with Brute, but sort of a problem is that I feel like they beat themselves. They either win or they beat themselves. It doesn't really feel like what I do matters. I know some people feel that way about playing against Wizard, but I think there's more interactivity in the Wizard matchup. Feel free to debate me, but as somebody who plays Wizard a lot, I do truly feel that it's more interactive than a lot of people think it is. Do we break Mask of Perdition here? Probably not. We need every point of block we can get. All right, so this is awesome because they have a... We don't know what they have in Arsenal, but they have a garbage hand. So we will happily banish the Terralim from Limb for a silver, and so... I mean, if they have like a 2-cost attack in Arsenal, they can play it. But holy moly, we get... oops, all defensive cards. All right, so that was an excellent surgical hit. Okay, so I had a one cost in Arsenal. So I can actually turn this into something. All right, so they discard the Skull Crack. Can't really do anything with the resource, though. You do get to Intimidate, but, I mean, honestly... Yeah, we don't really care, right? I mean, it's like we can't... No, don't worry about the Oasis. Okay, so we lose the Plunder. That's fine. Alright, so we will block Black Tech and one of our Fates. Because we would happily do Annihilate Plunder next turn, if possible. Alright, so opt Sink Below. I mean, we probably keep it. So we'll take one here, that's fine. Yeah, they got nothing else to do. Yeah, maybe we should have blocked with Mask of Perdition, so we don't feel bad if we want to crack in with it. So let's play... Let's play Plunder the Poor. Well, no. Let's play the Annihilate to get it out of Arsenal. We'll pitch the Oasis. I have a feeling they'd probably just block with Scab Skin and one card, and then you can't really do anything about it. We will sink the Barraging Beatdown. So I anticipate... I mean, no blocks is also fine. You can not block. So we'll crack our Black Tech. See if they do anything in response. Nope. We do get a silver. Great. We'll just throw out this Plunder the Poor. Beast Within. That doesn't fulfill our contract. We will sink. Yeah, probably should have blocked with a Mask last turn. We'll just let this hit. Is it Reckless Swing time? It is not. Ooh, we banish an Alpha Rampage. So we get another silver from the Annihilate. Because contracts work the whole time they're on the chain. Okay, so they were just keeping a high roll hand, it looks like. Discarding a second Skullcrack. I would love to keep the Unmovable or the blue, and we lose the blue. So this is 10, go again. Oh, this is like the other Wild Ride. Okay, what was our other card? It was the Sink Below. So let's... Do we block with a Mask? We're not going to be cracking it on our turn. Let's block with the mask. I want to get this out of arsenal, so we'll just play it here. Because of the barraging beatdown, maybe we should have just blocked what they already did, although, I mean, I don't know. It does mean we're taking some extra damage. We will bottom, I think. Does mean we're taking some extra damage, but keeping this means we can actually, like, have turn. See if they just claw or something. Do we know what's in their arsenal? I don't think we do. Okay, we will re-equip our black tech. So now... Okay, so they just undo. Okay. We want to play our Fate Foreseen. Maybe they wanted to... Yeah, there's no reason not to claw. Maybe they got trigger happy. We don't want the Blood to the Poor. Yeah, so they just claw. Makes sense. We will take it. So they crack Barkbone. Saw 2 pop-ups. Okay, so they crack Ambler's Clothes, so they're gonna just claw again. No, they cracked the gold. Interesting. So we haven't seen a cash-in yet, so we're not sure if they're doing that, but I mean, why wouldn't you? And they just pass. Alright, I'm a little befuddled. We definitely want a black deck. So... we can... Yeah, let's Spider's Bite. And then we'll use our Tunic resource to do Already Dead. Arsenal unmovable and have a uber defensive setup ready to go. Alright, activate the Tunic. Already Dead. We will sink the Blood Rush. Don't want you to have that. It also doesn't fulfill our contract. But we are likely to hit, I think. Unless they do something, they do a multi-block like this. I'm gonna crack the mask here so we can banish... I don't know. Yeah, I think we will crack the mask. This block doesn't make it seem like they have a defense reaction, although I could be wrong. Right, so we banish Alpha Rampage and Swing Big, which is pretty solid. We'll banish the Scabs, because that's where Already Dead looks really good. We should have gotten a silver, right? So we were at 1. Contracted to banish opponent's non-action cards. Yeah, this... we should have gotten a silver, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so that could be a bug report in the making. Oh, man. We... keeps lining up where we have unmovable but no blues. We have 10 blues, so I don't think we're being too greedy. Oh, not this again. Okay. Yeah, because we should have gotten a silver from banishing the Scabs. Alright, why did we see all those pop-ups? I don't know, maybe it was just like stuff in the banish zone. Okay, so... they banished our Sink Blow. So we could shut down their turn if we block and then unmovable, defended by less than 2 non-equipment cards. That does mean we don't get to do anything on our turn, but we will have the Sink Below to put in Arsenal. So let's block with Give and Take. super overblock, but it's the only way we could turn off the go again. So we already did. And unfortunately, we just pass. Arsenal the sink below, which is fine. Got a pile of contracts and a gross-looking book. Yeah, I'll have to watch back through the footage to see if we did miss the silver generation. There's this. This is graveyard. Do the scabs show up in the banish zone? Yes, they do. Okay. So they do double yellow barraging. So hopefully they just have one more intimidate. Yeah, okay, so we can block with leave no witnesses. And then sink. Pretty good. Okay. So where are they at? No, they were at 1. What did we do? I don't know. Oh, they Beast Within. That's what all those pop-ups were. They hit a whole bunch of cards with Beast Within, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have to review this game because there's been a few weird happenings. Okay, so we can dagger. Okay, I am so confused. I actually don't think we change anything here because Unmovable's no good. Spreading Plague is also no good. I don't foresee them blocking with a lot of cards. Yeah, we'll just run it. Okay, looks like a pretty standard Katsu setup. Oh, they're just slamming the Blossom of Spring early. Surging Strike. Let's block. Like, we could block with 2 cards. Looks like they. No, we'll block like this. If they want to give us their breaking scales this early, be my guest. Okay, they don't. Whelming Gustwave, so this is turned on. Blocking free would seem smart. We'll block with Already Dead, why not? That one could, hit some reactions in this match. Their last card is 100 wins, so we will keep our Eradicate, which is pretty nice. Okay, what do we do with this? CNC doesn't look great. We can do Dagger, Dagger, Plunder the Poor. We can do 1 Dagger, Eradicate, or do just like Spider's Bite. It costs our whole hand to do Spider's Bite Surgical. Well. We're definitely starting with Spider's Bite. Question is, do we want the extra dagger attack? I think we probably do, actually. Then we can save our CNC and Arsenal. Okay, so they throw away the breaking skills. We'll pass. We'll see if they undo. I think people need to learn a lesson about piercing. It doesn't always come up, but it's frequently relevant in a matchup like this. All right, and then we will pitch. We can also pitch CNC and keep Eradicate in Arsenal. It could go either way. I think we'll keep the CNC. And watch us draw both Cut to the Chase and immediately regret that decision. I think it's fine, though. Because, like, they could have Flick Flax, they could have Sink Belows. They could Arsenal, like, a Dishonor or something. Okay, so unfortunately, we lose our dagger buffs here, but then we can just Plunder the Poor. We have Mugenshi. This does satisfy our contract. I suspect we'll be hitting. We will leave this. So if they're... Yeah, so if they have Mugenshi, they're out here with, like, Lord of Wind shenanigans. Okay, so they block out. Interesting. So if they just Arsenal pass, that's great for us. Yeah, okay. So we can Dagger, Annihilate, give it go again, play CNC, or just dagger CNC. The Annihilate is almost certainly going to hit since we have the Shred. Or we can forego the dagger, just do Annihilate. Yeah. Let's just play Annihilate. Raise or Reflex, we will sink. Yeah, now we can do Black Tech Shred to hopefully get it to hit, and then use our floaters on CNC. Arsenal Fate Foreseen. Seems pretty good, I think. Alright. Expecting some defense reactions, but we just have to break the Black Deck here. Do we break the mask? Let's say, I don't know. I bet they have a reaction, or they just really like their hand. We'll break the mask. I bet with the assistance of Red Shred we can hit, even through a reaction. Okay, so we do get 2 attacks. That's pretty great. And then we'll just slam this CNC. See if they regret not blocking. All right, they give us some winds. So this is Windy Katsu, I guess. 100 Winds, Lord of Wind, Mugenshi. Cool. Well, Arsenal or Fate Foreseen, because we've had issues with the Red Shred and Arsenal. All right, so Kodachi for 1, no go again. Do your worst. Raise or Reflex me. They don't have it. Do we want Black Tech or Mask? We want Black Tech. Go again is pretty good. All right, so we can Dagger, Leave No Witnesses, Shred their block. Yeah, so we will bite. Could also cash in the Tunic, the Nerve Scalpel. We do have this Oasis, which works well with the Tunic resource, so we might not do that. Alright, now we will... Yeah, we can also take a bit more advantage of the Spider's Bite debuff, now with this Leave No Witnesses. Spinning Wheel Kick. No, we won't sink. It's just okay, but it does satisfy our contract. Yeah, this is a matchup where Red Shred looks stupid, but I think as a hedge against the fatigue decks, we still want it. Okay. So they still get us with a reaction here. But we will Shred. Doesn't really matter because everything is just for 2. So we'll Shred this. Do you have a reaction? They don't. We'll banish that Arsenal. Ooh, 2 more reds. Brilliant. Alright. Things seem to be going well. Oh, and now we can actually play a surgical. This is great. So they Kodachi will take it. And they don't have Mask of Momentum anymore, so we can just take these Kodachi hits and not really care. Descendant Gust Wave. So it just has go again. Do we Fate Foreseen or do we Oasis? I think we'll just Fate Foreseen for now. Right, so this looks pretty good. So they could still get it to hit. Possibly we should have blocked with Black Tech. So let's do this now before they draw. Not sure how much that matters. Do we want the other Slay the Scuttlers? Probably not. I don't think we'd ever complete that contract in this matchup. Oh, so do they Breaking Scales? They don't. What is your last card? We won't know. Alright, so this is fine. We get to re-equip Mask of Perdition. Alright. What do we do here? Dagger Surgical, probably. Arsenal Oasis. Yeah, we'll do the bite. Oh, they just snap block. Interesting. Alright, sink the spinning wheel kick. Try to find a blue card. Alright. Probably a reaction. So they have Flick Flack. Well, we can flick our Nerve Scalpel and make them have another one. Alright. Nice, nice. We banish Yellow Gust Wave. And we can banish their Dishonor, and they just don't ever get to do that. Although we're not so reliant on our hero ability. So what are they going to do? Like, if we leave them with... If we take Fluster Fist, they can do Surging Strike, Kodachi. But we can just Oasis the Fluster Fist. Let's just take Dishonor. We get a silver. That also shuts off the Kodachi, but don't think that's super relevant. We have Oops All Shred, which is really awkward. We're happy that we have Sink Below. I mean, playing 6 shreds, that will happen. Alright, so they will Fluster Fist. For 4, no go again. We'll pass and just simply sink one of these shreds. So I'd find Fate for Scene, good lord. Problem is, now we can't even dagger. We have to... I think we might actually be pitching blue shred into a silver, which you almost never pitch into silvers with this deck, because you just don't need to. This is so awkward. Yep, we are going to do that. We're going to pitch our blue shred into the silver, draw Eradicate, nice. Do we Tunic or pitch Fate? Let's Tunic. Sink the Surging Strike, sure. We are 100% winning the card battle in this matchup. All right, and they say got to go. Well, that was fine. We were pretty favored to win that. I don't know if we're always favored to win this, because Katsu can be occasionally very explosive, but we did a good job of denying them hits. Yeah, all right, pretty happy with that. This matchup's really funny because we banish their items, they banish their items. Doesn't matter, they still get them. So Spreading Plague doesn't do anything. Unmovable might do something depending on the build. All right. Why no adaptive platings? I don't know. So I think we probably just Surgical Shred. Well, there's not really any value in that at this point. Real Dagger. I mean, yeah, banishing a card from their hand. Oops, sorry, computer share. Banishing a card from the hand on the first turn doesn't do anything, and if they have a handful of items, we're forced to banish something. Yep, we'll keep it going. Maybe they do have the handful of items and just actually can't block. So we are sinking every item we see, because if we banish them, they still come into play. I guess Hope Merchant's Hood is an okay choice for Data Doll, just in case you get the all-item hand. And you can also do this on defense. Alright, so we banish a Boom Grenade, which is quite unfortunate because they do get it. But, I mean, we sunk an item and they had another item, so it's whatever. Okay, so this is basically 6. We'll snap off the Slay the Scholars block. Okay, so they get their microprocessor, which this is Data Doll Specialization if you've never seen it. Although my wife would tell you it's the best card in the game. Alright, so Pounder for 6, or they play the Pounder, Throttle for 6, basically 9. Leave No Witnesses is like not good against Data Doll because they almost never ever put a card in Arsenal. I don't think we give up Flick Knives this early because we could like Dagger, Annihilate. Well, we're just gonna do this so we don't take the extra grenade damage, and then we'll play Leave No Witnesses, and it's whatever. We'll take the pistol shot. We will not sink this because it's not an item. Data Doll typically doesn't like to block, which is why the shields from Bright Lights are so good, so we're not going to have anything to shred. But hey. Shouldn't have gotten 2 silvers there. No, we had... We had 1 from our Plunder the Poor. Yeah, never mind. Alright, so this is T-Bone. Ooh, Fuel Injector. So we gotta block with one of these guys. I think that's it. Now we got double red shred. That's just... I think we will sink one of them, actually. We'll find already dead. Okay, that's fine. Fuel Injector is kind of cute with Data Doll, especially when you can put the resource into Foundry Heart like they just did. Now they have both Pounders. So this is a big yikes. A little bit. So... Too bad we can't block with Black Tech. We'll just take this. Because we'd love to play both of these. Because if they load and shoot the pistol, we can just snap block with Black Tech to save the life point. Oh no, they just have a zipper hit. So we will block here. Yeah, we're sort of just fine to take it. Why not? The double Pounder setup is a bit scary. But what we can do, we can use our Tunic resource to... So we can Dagger, Tunic resource, already dead. And then Black Tech, Plunder the Poor, Shred so we can hit if they block. I doubt they will. Haven't seen any shields yet. I mean, we sunk 1. Yeah, let's lead off with already dead. We'll sink it because it's an item. Yeah, so they're going to... Yeah, we're going to flick the Spider's Bite. Because now they're going to have to try to block Plunder the Poor. We will sink the Boom Grenade. Alright, so they Hope Merchant away 2 cards. Yeah, their blocks are very inefficient now. And then Shred whatever, because it doesn't matter. Everything's blocking for 2. Take 3 and die. Okay. Yeah, that, I mean, you know, Data Doll, she's okay now. Still not great, but okay. And there are combinations of cards that can win games. I have lost to Data Doll playing my Assassin setups at home, courtesy of my wife. there are some things like the double pounder setup is very good. They got the early microprocessor, which is big game, but I mean, yeah, you just saw in that game, like, they can't afford to block, and when we have all these on hits and we have all these reactions so that when they do block, we can screw it up. Even though we have to watch out that we don't banish their items, it's still pretty good for us. So what did we learn after these games with Fatigue-ish Arakni? And I tried to showcase the most interesting games in this video without making it too long. I did have a lot of interesting losses, besides those that were pictured, but, you know, I think my videos are too long most of the time anyways. Regardless, I'd say we probably won like 40% of the games that we've played, and that's the ones that I played online, plus the armories that I've been to with this deck. So, not stellar. It's a fun deck, but I don't think it's great in the meta right now. We basically fold over to full fatigue decks, and there's actually a good many of those running around at the moment, between Briar, Bravo, and like Great Axe Dory. We just can't hit, and all of our disruption is about hitting. Excuse me. So those decks present a particular challenge for us. We do pretty well into aggro and mid-range matchups, which, of course, there's a good number of those at any point, but yeah, so I'm trying to think if I have any insights besides just the fact that I'm very excited for the new Heavy Hitters cards. The new specialization, Coercive... I never remember if it's Coercive Tendency or Coercive Tactics. Coercive Tendency. Yeah. This guy is going to be a staple in every Contract Arakni deck, obviously. Maybe when this comes out, we'll build a meme deck that is every 0-for-4 contract, and then this card. So we can arsenal this, and then have, you know, a hand of all 0-for-4s, and then just play this, give them all go again, and play 4 contracts in one turn. Something like that. But regardless, the fact that this is a 0-cost blue block 3 and has a amazing ability, the fact that it gives our attacks go again without hitting is also super significant, because this deck basically just has Black Tech Whisperers as a way to give stuff go again. So anyways, that plus a new dagger, Gravencall, which can come back from the graveyard as a 2-for-2, excuse me. That will help us in the Dromai matchup, which I don't see Dromai a whole lot in Blitz. Regardless, it would be helpful there. It'll also be helpful in the fatigue matchups, where late in the game we can, you know, swing a dagger for 2 instead of swinging a dagger for 1. It's twice as good. Yeah. So I think if you want to play Assassin and Blitz right now, I would highly recommend Arakni Solitary Confinement, because the more go-wide nature of that deck is better into the matchups that this deck struggles with. The fact that you can attack 2-3 times in a turn, most turns, with Solitary Confinement makes the full fatigue decks have to give you more cards, and you'll probably also cheese in more hits between your Shreds, Razor Reflex, Razor's Edge, whatever. So the go-wide stealth plan, I think, is better right now in our local... Oh, I don't want to say in my local meta, but also just in Blitz meta generally right now. So anyways, I still had a lot of fun playing these games, and I hope you had fun watching them. I do also want to mention that we have crested the 20 subscriber point. I think we're at 21 at the moment of this recording. So if you're watching this and you're one of those subscribers, thank you very much. If you're watching this and you're not one of our subscribers, but you do enjoy our content, please subscribe. You'll get notified. We'll get notified. We'll be happy. I hope you'll be happy too, because you'll see more of our stuff. And, you know, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Also, if you enjoy our content, have suggestions, like and comment. I'd love to hear from you if you've tried this sort of deck in Blitz, or if you have suggestions for new cards or new strategies we should focus on. We'd love to hear from you. But anyways, I think that's all I have for right now. So we'll be back soon, probably with Stealth Arakni, since I've been hyping it up. We'll go back to aggressively flicking knives and trying to play 3 or 4 attacks on a turn. So to that end, I have been the Archivist. Thank you for watching, and we will see you for your next research appointment.